Scott Harrison, happy Earth Day.
Nice to be here, Andrew. Thanks for having me.
Scott, if I was a cynic, I might say, well, I can not take a shower today. I rarely take showers, of course.
Don't believe that.
I don't do my washing. I don't wash my car. I don't water my lawn. But what difference would that make? I'm in California, in Santa Rosa, or in San Francisco, or New York. What difference would that make in the developing world? What is the connection between Americans' use of water and dirty water in Africa or Southeast Asia?
I think as a cynic, you'd be right. There isn't a connection between you saving water and living water lean, and the woman or the child that's struggling right now in rural Ethiopia. There's just you saving water doesn't put extra water in those communities. I think a lot of people ask me here, what about the water crisis in America? And we hear that there are rivers drying up, and what I say to them is that we're never going to die of thirst here in this country. I mean, we're starting to desalinate water like crazy. We know how to extract water from the ground. We know how to extract water from the sea. What's probably going to happen here is our cost of water will go up, and people are going to start complaining about that. Dubai, for instance, is a city in the desert. They're desalinating 95% of their water. I was talking to someone whose water bill there is $450 a month. They have clean water, it just comes from the Gulf. The problem in the developing world is so different. It's just so other to anything that we understand here. The billion living without water, people walking 3 hours a day, leeches, diseases in this open water. And the communities there are too poor to tap into the groundwater that's sometimes 50 feet beneath them. I mean, the irony, it's so frustrating going to these communities, and we've just drilled a well. And for the first time in the history of the community, we're watching clean water shoot out of the ground, and people are crying, they're dancing, they're singing. There's life and hope for $5,000, for $7,000. This community will be changed forever. So I think it's our work is really just trying to tell that story, trying to tell the story of the possibility of these many solutions and get people involved.
Today on Earth Day, take off your water hat for a moment. What else can people do?
I think one simple thing people could do is in the city, stop drinking bottled water. Our tap water in New York City is amazing. Most of the places I travel, the water is clean. It's sometimes even cleaner than the water we're buying. And it's interesting. Charity Water started off by selling a $20 bottle of water, and I thought this was so clever. At the beginning, I was going to shift context and, oh my gosh, $20 for a bottle of water. We used all the money to fund projects. And I was reading in Fast Company once, this long expose on the bottled water industry and its impact on the environment. And it shocked me. We stopped selling water from that point on. And, we don't have it around the office. So I think that's something. Some of these companies are putting millions and millions of bottles of plastic into landfills, into the oceans. So maybe taking a look at whether there's some savings there.
Well, we at TechCrunch have given up water.
In lieu of Diet Pepsi, I see that.
But is there a difference between drinking sodas? Those are also water.
Well, soda uses water. And, it has been encouraging to see, interestingly enough, Frito-Lay, PepsiCo. I know the CEO who's been a supporter, and they are really trying to go water neutral, water positive. They're trying to take their water use from, it's 14 billion gallons or something to 4 billion gallons. And I'm really trying to make steps in the right direction, because water is the key ingredient in any soda, in any juice.